Joining us now live in Washington, D.C. is Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So first off, let's get your reaction to this whole scenario, President Trump's initial action and how Iran responded, and your thoughts about the whole situation.
Well, I think the initial action was smart. What we did, we didn't go after 100, people that man a surface-to-air site. We didn't go after the Iranian military. We killed the guy that's been creating the whole problem for 20 years. We killed him in Iraq. We killed him with legal authority, and he had a uniform. It was the right thing to do. We knew there would be a reaction. The reaction was fairly muted because I think Iran, even as much as us, doesn't want an escalation because they'll lose that war. And so I think it's beginning to restore deterrence, which is where we need to be. We'll see in the long term the effect.
I wonder if what Iran did was enough to appease some of their proxy militant groups. What are your thoughts on that? And do you have faith in the president to manage these situations in the right way?
Well, look, there's still a lot of concern with these proxy groups, but that's not new. I mean, anybody that claims it's because we did what we did, now we're concerned about the proxy groups. I fought the proxy groups when I was in Iraq. There was a task force that was focused on those types of groups, and not to mention that they've been active since. And, of course, all the attacks that led up to this whole thing in the first place. So they're going to continue to be a problem and a nuisance. But their main leader was this guy Soleimani, who's now dead. He was the one organizing all of it. So anybody that comes out and says the president made a rash decision was not in the briefing I was in yesterday, where all these leaders said this had been something they had pondered and presented to the president with great detail and specificity, and he made a decision. That wasn't an easy decision to make, but he made it, and I think it was the right one.
So you have been critical of President Trump in the past. Do you think he handled this well?
I do. You know what's interesting to me is I'm actually consistent. Like, I will call the president out when I think he's doing something wrong, and I'll support him when I think he's doing something right. It's so foreign because of how polarized we are now that people get shocked when somebody opposes or then supports, and it's different because people just look at political stripes now. So, look, for things like on Twitter domestically, I'm critical when he's divisive on Twitter among Americans. But his tweets against Iran, I think, actually moderated the Iranian response to the Soleimani killing.
Do you think Iran is stronger or weaker than it was 2 years ago?
Certainly weaker. I'd say, well, definitely than it was before Soleimani was killed. Between 2 years ago and today, they've obviously been rearming, re-coordinating with their groups. But Soleimani was the key behind that. And now that he's dead, which, by the way, 2 weeks ago, about half of my colleagues out here didn't even know the guy's name, and now they're all experts on him. But now that he's dead, obviously this is a really big blow to Iran's ability to coordinate their proxy groups.
So today in the House, this vote on a measure aimed at limiting President Trump's ability to take military action against Iran. Where do you stand on that?
I'm a no on this. It's a pointless resolution. First off, it doesn't have the force of law. They know that. It's a H-Con res, so it never even goes to the president's desk to be signed. Secondly, the president was well within legal rights to kill Soleimani. In fact, I think he was responsible to. If Soleimani would have carried out any more executions against the United States and killed soldiers, people would be going crazy because they knew he had the opportunity to do it. And thirdly, the president, believe it or not, has shown incredible restraint. We were struck a number of times by Iran, and what was our answer to that? Nothing. Until we said there's a red line, don't kill Americans, they did, and we killed the guy responsible, not 200 people manning, military sites.
Representative Kinzinger, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Yep.